Hi everyone. This review is about the structure and functions of animals. Animals need five things to live, just like plants. Some of these things are different. We need to know what they need and what they use it for. So the first thing animals need is food. We use food to get energy. So when you study, learn these words together. We call them linked words because they go together. So in the exam, when you look at the question, you should be looking food, energy, grow, survive, reproduce. These words go together. Okay, so we need energy to grow, survive, and reproduce. Animals also need oxygen. So we also need air, just like plants, but animals only need the oxygen from the air because we need the oxygen to break down the food to take out the energy from it. Then we need water. Water keeps the body working. If there's not enough water in our body, we may feel sick, dizzy, and our body will not function properly. We need a shelter. A shelter is a home for animals. So why do animals need homes? They need it to keep themselves safe for protection. So the word protection means to keep safe and to raise their young. Young are their babies. So to let their babies grow. Animals also need space. They need space to build shelter, so to build their home. They also need space to hunt and to escape. So if they are predators, they will be hunting to look for food. And if they are prey, they will need to escape. Now let's look at some structures of animals. Animals have body parts or structures that are external. External means outside. Like when they say exit the building, X means to go out. External, outside. Internal is inside. So when you see that word, the end is all the same. The beginning tells us where it is. Internal, inside. External, outside. Here are some examples of body parts and their function. We're going to look at each one in a little more detail. So these body parts are found outside the animal's body, so we say external. And these external body parts do different things for the animal. Function means what it does. So the beak of the bird, the proboscis, this little thing over here, it's like a straw that the butterfly drinks with, or the teeth of the shark, all of them let the animal get food. So these structures help the animal to get food. Scales are these hard things found on the outside of fish and reptiles like snakes. This is a shell. It's again something very hard found on the outside of a tortoise or turtle. These protect the animal. So they are very hard. They keep the animal safe. So they protect the animal from something that wants to hurt them or eat them. The next two things, fur and feathers. Fur is like a kind of hair, shorter, and it's a different like feeling. So if you've ever felt a cat, the cat has fur on its body. Fur helps to, and feathers as well. They help to keep the animal safe from the weather. So they keep them warm. They protect them from the weather. The next things we're going to look at, the next structures, help animals move. So any kind of movement, they help them with. Like the legs. Legs help the animal to run. Tentacles on the octopus help the octopus to swim, to move around in the water. The wings over here on the bird help it to fly. The fins, all of these things here, they are called fins. They help the fish to swim and move in the water. And the tail helps an animal to balance as it moves. These are all structures that help animals move in different ways. Now let's look at things that animals use to find information. The word find and gather are the same thing. So when animals want to find or gather information, they use their sense organs. The sense organ is a structure that helps you to get information from the environment, like our ears, eyes, nose, tongue, and skin. These structures help us to take information. The antenna on the ant, this antenna, helps the ant to smell. So instead of a nose, the antenna does not have a nose. Sorry, the ant. The ant does not have a nose. It has antenna that help it to smell. This snake over here, it has something called a pit. These pits help it to detect infrared waves like heat. So the snake can see the heat coming out from things. The last thing is defense. So over here we have different pictures of claws. It's kind of like nails, but very sharp and hard. These claws are used by animals for defense, like when they want to fight. Okay, defense, when they want to keep themselves safe from something wanting to hurt them or fight them. So if you think about animals in a fight, defense, that's when they're going to use their claws. Okay, they could also use them to climb things. And this animal will use it to catch its food. Now let's look at some body parts or structures that are found inside our body, internal. So the first thing we're going to look at are the lungs. The lungs are where our gas, oxygen, is going inside. But fish, they don't breathe in the air, they breathe under the water. So they don't have lungs, they have these things called gills. Gills, even though we can see them here outside, inside there's more of it that take out the gas. And the gas they take out from the water is oxygen. So we breathe oxygen in from the air, and the fish gets it from the water using its gills. The second thing we're looking at is the intestine. Intestines, these over here, both of them, their job is to absorb nutrients. Absorb is to take in the nutrients from the food that we've eaten. The brain helps animals to process information. The stomach helps us to digest food. The kidneys, these things over here, help to eliminate waste. They take out waste. And the heart helps us to move blood around our body. All these structures we looked at are not the same shape, and we call this adaptation. The adaptation is something that helps the organism to survive, helps the animal or the plant to live in its environment. So different animals have different shapes on their structures. And this helps them to live in different places. For example, a bird that lives in water will need a foot that is this shape, like number 4, so that it can swim. This animal, its shape of its foot helps it to catch prey. Here we have these type of feet are used to climb things. These birds climb on trees, they climb up rocks they need to hold on, so their shape of foot will help them climb. And this shape of foot number 1 is used by animals that like to dig in the ground to find their food. Another adaptation that helps animals live is camouflage. Camouflage is like when the color, the pattern, the shape of the animal helps it to hide. It's blending in with its environment. Like this chameleon, it is the same shape and color as the leaf. Mimicry, make, we learned it as make you cry. This mimicry is when animals try to look like something else that is more dangerous, something that can hurt you. So this animal tries to look like the other one. This one cannot hurt you. There's nothing it can do, the milk snake, but the coral snake can. It has poison, can harm you. So this animal wants to look like the other one. So other animals who see them get afraid. They think that they are harmful, they are dangerous, and they will not go near them. Hibernation. Remember, I told you to remember, it looks like you are hiding in your bed. Hibernation, they're hiding in their bed, they are sleeping, they are inactive because it is winter and it is cold. And the last one, migration. Migration, the animals are moving on. They're moving on to a new place. They do this because maybe they need to find a warmer place to live. They cannot survive the winter, or they need to find food or water, or they need to reproduce to lay their eggs. Okay, so here are some sample questions that you may get. Which sentence describes why animals need food and space? When answering a question in the exam, please identify first after reading, you identify your keywords. Then you link them. Food gives me energy. Space, we use it to build shelters, we use it to hunt, we use it to escape. Now you look for those words. Animals need food for energy? Yes. Space for sunlight? No. Animals need water for energy? That's not correct. They need oxygen to raise their young? Yes, but they don't need water for energy. They need food for energy. They need space to build their home. Correct. So the answer is C. Okay, please give the other sample questions in the mock exams a try. And I hope this video helped you understand how animal structures help them to live in their environment.